Welcome to the Work Hard, Play Hard podcast. My name is Rob Murgatroyd, and I am a former doctor turned lifestyle entrepreneur. Each week, I interview some of the best minds on the planet on the science of achievement and the art of fulfillment. Today's episode is a mini-sode that we call Fri-Date with the Wife. In these mini-sodes, my wife Kim and I deconstruct the strategies that we've developed over the last decade to not only grow personally, but to turn our struggles into lessons and create fulfillment in all areas of our lives. Excuses are over. It's time to live. Let's dig into today's topic. All right, before we jump into this episode, I want to invite you to be considered for my Work Hard, Play Hard Mastermind by completing an application at workhardplayhardmastermind.com. So this mastermind is not like any mastermind you may have been to or heard of, I promise you. This mastermind is for 6 to 7 figure entrepreneurs that are working too damn much and aren't taking the time to have amazing experiences around the world with an incredible tribe of people. So every 100 days or so, I drop you into new experiences that are specifically designed to elevate your thinking, to give you new ideas. Look, you get your best ideas not staring at a computer. And actually, this is the way high-level people really collaborate with each other. They do it over a glass of champagne, watching the sunset in the south of France. So if you are ready to do some fun stuff around the world and really, really want to level up your tribe in one shot, fill out an application at workhardplayhardmastermind.com. We'll jump on a call and we'll see if it's a good fit. All right, let's jump into today's episode. Well, Kimberly, getting skinny, Murgatroyd, how are you in that cute boot tee?
Okay, getting skinny?
You're getting skinny. You tell me every day you're getting skinny.
I know. Well, we're heading there.
How do you feel?
Well, you got to come out of the quarantine with something, right?
Well, you want to come out. You want to come out with less than you went in with.
I want to come out with less than I went in with.
I listened to a good Esther about that today, and she was talking about putting the word "but" anytime you want something. Like, I want to get skinny, but the moment you did that, boom, you cut off all the energy. And what's the problem with your hoodie?
I just realized I put it on inside out this morning, and I did a live Zoom presentation with an inside out shirt.
Hey, listen, you didn't have any green pea soup on your shirt. You're fine.
But it's pretty funny though, no?
You're fine. Well, Listen, today we're going to talk about the cycle of growth. Tell me what the cycle of growth is. I know, but I'm queuing you up. Tell me what.
Thank you.
Tell me
for
what
that
it is.
obvious.
Do you want me to put it into context before you go through it?
It sounds like you already want to, so go for it.
So if you are beginning something, right? If you are beginning to learn tennis, if you are beginning to start a new business, if you are beginning to work out, whatever you are beginning, you will go through this cycle of growth. Go.
Okay. So we first learned about this concept when we were beginning our journey in network marketing. There was a trainer who came in, and his name is Rod Hairston. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Okay. So he came in and he did a training on the cycle of growth because, like Rob said, when you're beginning anything, and especially in network marketing, you go through this cycle. And so I thought we could walk through this cycle today because knowing the full cycle helps you when you get mid-cycle and your ass wants to quit. So here is kind of how it starts. So you start something, right? Let's say you're going to lose weight. You got your new gym outfit. You got your new membership. Maybe you called me and ordered some products. Little plug there, shameless plug. And you're like ready to go and you're so excited and you don't know how to work out. You don't really know like what portions are. You don't really know what you don't know, but you're freaking on fire because you're committed and you wrote that goal down and you're ready to go. You started that business. You got that website. You put WordPress into the new website you're building. Whatever it is, you're excited.
All passion. You got
You're all passion.
You got the new trainers, the new sneakers. You got the Air Force Ones. Is that what they're called?
Who knows?
What are they called? You got them all lined up. Your sweatpants.
Your ignorance on fire because you don't know what you're doing, but you're really excited.
But your ducks are in a row.
But your ducks are in a row and you're going to crush this. Okay. So right now, or when you get a chance, I want you to get a piece of pen and a paper. A piece of pen?
A piece of pen. Just
okay. How about let's go the other way.
Don't get the whole pen. Just get like a piece of the pen. Do you want them to get the bottom piece of the pen, the middle, or the top?
All right. Let's go the other way. Get a pen and a piece of paper. And I want you to create like a little hill. Okay. Draw a little hill and then dip down into a deep valley and then come back up and make a little hill. So it should look like a U with some wings.
All right. Okay? 99.9% of the people listening to this podcast are driving.
No, they're not. Where are they going?
Out.
They're going to work. We don't do that anymore. So we work at home. They have paper.
I guess you're right.
So now that you have your little U with wings, the top left, you're excited, but you have no freaking clue what you're doing. Okay. Mm-hmm. As you take your journey, as you do day 1, 2, 3, 10 in the gym into your business, you're getting sore. You're realizing you don't know how to work WordPress. You're realizing this social media thing is way harder and the damn Instagram keeps cutting you off. You don't know why the screen grab on your last Facebook Live has you looking like Quasimodo. You cannot figure this out. Whatever you're trying to tackle, you are starting to come up to resistance.
Now, I'm going to give you another example that just came to me. So in the first stage, what was the first stage called? You don't know?
Ignorance on fire.
Ignorant. We'll call it the beginner stage, right?
Yeah.
I'm just
the
beginning.
Ignorance on fire stage.
All right. So I'm going to use me learning how to dance. Okay.
Let's use you learning how to surf. That's a better one.
Okay.
Let's use you learning how to surf.
learning how to surf. Man, day 1, I'm in the store. I'm buying this. I'm buying the surfboard, man.
You didn't just buy a surfboard. You got a custom brand new surfboard.
I mean, it's shiny and
it's red,
and I got wax, and I got a new surf wetsuit. I got a wetsuit, and I got booties, and I got a bicycle with a rack. It goes on the rack on the bicycle. I could put the surfboard. I mean, like I am.
He looked like he was going to kindergarten.
Okay, I am in my mind. I am Brad Pitt going down to the
Laird
beach.
Hamilton.
And then somebody takes a picture of me in the outfit, and I look like one of the Paddington Bears going surfing. But okay, so that's
so he's ignorance on fire. He doesn't know what he doesn't know, but he's got it all going. Then he goes out day 1, day 2, day 3, and he's getting nailed. Wave after wave is nailing him. He can't get up. He's falling off the board.
When I tell you getting nailed, I mean getting like I'm in a blender, getting a 9-foot board slamming me in my skull, getting wrapped around the surfboard with my leash, that little leash that attaches to the board, getting spun around in the water, not knowing when I'm underwater if I'm up or down, and going like, what the fuck is this?
And so then the limiting beliefs creep in.
I can't do this.
I don't
know how to swim.
I'm 54. What the hell am I doing picking up surfing? I am, you look at surfers and they're like super lean, vegan, and we're putting out there, we got, Danny DeVito over there on the surfboard carrying way more size than most other surfers. This is too hard. I don't know that I have time to dedicate to this. I don't know that I'm ever going to have the skill. He's practicing his pop-ups, but he can't figure it out. He can't even ride a wave, okay? So this point right here, so you're starting to go down the hill. You're starting to go, you were really excited, your ignorance on fire, but now it's getting hard, it's getting confusing, it's getting frustrating. You have no results. You're sucking. You're at the bottom of the pit and you hit the brick wall.
This is when most people quit.
And then for the love of God, our dog wants to scratch in, to come in, to come out, to come in, to come out. So this is where people quit. When they hit that wall and they're like, F it, this isn't for me. I can't do this. I don't want to do this. This is frustrating. It's over. Game over. But if you don't quit, you're going to go over the brick wall. You're going to bust right through it. You're going to find a way. Rob's hiring a great surf instructor. He's practicing the basics. He's getting granular with the pop-up. He's figuring out that he's just not flexible enough. So he's adding in flexibility and mobility training. He's doing the things that he needs to do to bust through the wall. He's learning the new skills. He's willing to suck until he doesn't. And that's why a lot of people quit. They're not willing to suck for whatever the reason. Maybe it's ego, maybe it's perfectionism, maybe it's, scared of failure or whatever, but you're not willing to suck long enough to get good. So he practices and practices and practices, and he never ever gives up. He busts through that brick wall. He moves to the other side, and now he caught a wave. Now he's excited. Now he's coming home and he's like, I rode one. It wasn't long, but I rode it. And, I go and watch him at the beach, and his surf instructor, when Rob catches a wave, is jumping up and down. People on the beach are cheering him on because this is hard. This isn't easy. He's not like dropping in and catching 6-foot waves in a pipeline. I don't even know if I said that right.
You did perfect.
Great.
That was good.
Like,
it's exactly
he's not doing
what
that.
it is.
He has to think about every foot position, hand position. He's got to think about where his weight is shifted. He has to think about all the things, and it's hard for him, but he's starting to see results. And the people on the beach are cheering him on because they've seen him practice and fall and practice and fall. And now he's starting to get good, but it's really effing hard. And this is the funny thing. A lot of people quit here too. So I can't tell you the number of people I have worked with who have spent 2 months and lost 20 pounds and then they quit. And I'm like, well, hold on a second. Why are you quitting after you lost 20 pounds? And they're like, well, it's hard. I don't think I can maintain this forever. But if they just kept going, they'd pull themselves out of that pit and into a place where they now are competent and it's easy. And that's when Laird Hamilton is swimming out on the board and he's dropping in and catch any wave he wants. That's when this gets easy because now you get into flow. It becomes second nature and you move. And the whole thing of this kind of cycle of growth is you can't jump from not knowing what the F you're doing, but being really excited all the way to this shit being easy and sailing through. You have to go through the suck. You have to go through the growth. That's what growth is. Everyone's like, ooh, I want to grow. I'm committed to growth. Well, growth only happens when shit gets hard. Growth doesn't happen when it's easy. Growth doesn't happen when you're flying high. Growth happens when you dig deep and you grab a hold of the skills you need and you are willing to fail.
This is such a great conversation.
I'm passionate.
No, it's great. I remember talking to Lewis Howes about dancing. He's a crazy good salsa dancer, right? And
just like you.
He's just like me. He said the biggest frustration was not the beginning because he had the fortitude and the tenacity to be able to go like, I don't know what I'm doing and I'm tripping over my feet, but I he's got that athlete's mentality. So I'm just going to keep pushing through it. The challenge for him was when it got frustrating was when he figured out how to do it because he's going to a club, like one of these salsa clubs, and he's going there dancing. And it was very difficult for him to be present dancing because he's doing in his
counting
head,
the steps.
He's doing 1, 2, cha, cha, cha in his head. And he's like, this sucks. Like I want to be here enjoying dancing and I'm counting the steps in my head.
And again, that's that point where people quit, where he's dancing and he's doing it, but it's hard.
But now you can put
anything.
this guy anywhere in the world and he could be talking to you about, he could be talking to you about politics while he's spinning you around in San Salvador somewhere doing bachata. He's figured that piece out. There is a great book that I just finished reading. It's called The Inner Game of Tennis. And it is ostensibly about this part right over here that we're discussing. There's like two people that are in your head. There's the person that is like, okay, so what do I have to do? I have to take my tennis racket. I have to pull it all the way back. And he says that after you sort of get the initial lesson of what you have to do, no longer think about those steps. No longer think about the dance moves. No longer think about whatever in your minds. And just tell your brain to do it. and just say, do it. Your subconscious is listening a lot more than you think it is, and it knows what to do. That's that flow state that you're talking about. It knows what to do, but you got to tell it to do it and then get out of the way.
And you have to allow it.
Of interrupting it and saying, now put my foot here. So when I made the biggest strides in surfing is when I felt it. Is when I was going, okay, I see the wave coming, all right. And in my chest, I can paddle and I just feel just like I'm gonna get, when I feel that wave pulling me, I'm gonna pop up and I'm gonna go. Instead of going arm, chest, elbow, shift, foot position, it screws you up. You can't do it.
But you have to do that at the beginning to learn the skill.
What to do.
And so this is the thing, like I see it in my business all the time. Someone comes in, they're so excited. I had someone come in and they wrote this whole like story about their why, and they were so passionate. And then they had like their first like person said no to them and they quit. And it was like over for them, and they just moved on, and they never thought about it again. And it's like, where would your growth have been if you were willing to deal with someone saying no to you? How could you have grown if you did that? Like I have done, people say to me, they're like, oh, I don't know how you get on Instagram and just talk. It takes some people who aren't used to putting their face on Instagram and talking. It's like they have to like get the quiet room. They have to set it up. They have to think about what they're going to say. Maybe they need notes. And like, yeah, that was me too. But I don't need to do that now. Half the time I'm like doing something else, making pancakes and talking on Instagram because it doesn't matter to me anymore. I gave up caring what people thought, which was a big limiting belief. Like that pit that I'm talking about, and I had you draw. Down in that pit, when shit gets hard, that's when limiting beliefs creep in. That's when you have to hold the vision of what you want higher and more powerful than the stupid belief that you have created. A belief is just a pattern of thought. It's not true. Whatever your belief is literally just a pattern of thought that you keep thinking, and you have control over that. So just push that belief out of your mind. Stop thinking about it. Focus on what you want. Get the skills, do the work, get the skills to grow, find out where you're weak. Like when I was started network marketing, I didn't talk about price. I was terrified to talk about money. I had to read Secret of the Millionaire Mind 6 times in a row to get that shit to sink in and redo my money blueprint so I could have a conversation about money, because I that's where I was weak. But once I did that work, once I unlocked that code, I was able to move forward and build an incredibly successful business. But if I didn't do that work, I had 2 options: do the work, get over it, or quit.
It's interesting. I work with private clients doing coaching, and I almost hear nothing in the beginning when they tell me what they want to do. It's almost like in one ear and out the other, because I know that I will know whether or not it's going to happen when they start failing. There's a great book out now that is by Seth Godin, and it's called The Practice. And what he says is, if you are, as an example, if you want to have a YouTube show, show me your 100 shitty videos. Show me the 100 videos that you shot that sucked. Because once you show me that, I know your 101st is going to be better than your first. How many people will do videos 1, 2, and 3? You and I are a perfect example of that. Mm-hmm. So, we are, we're tight on time. We're shooting a new course right now. We have a new camera, and the tech isn't perfect. So we had to figure out how to get the thing in focus. And then we got it in focus, but half of the video wound up being out of focus. And then we realized after we got all 3 videos that I don't like the quality of the mic, because it doesn't have an external mic and it has echoey, and I just don't want that for the product. So now we spent an entire day shooting videos, and it didn't work out. We could have easily said, this was day 1 in shooting it. We could have easily said, fuck this, it's too hard, I'm not going to do it. But we didn't. So I know when I'm coaching with somebody, when they are met with that resistance that you're talking about in this cycle of growth, and when they come back to me and they go, I tried this, this, and this, I failed here, but then I did this and that worked, and I think I'm on the path, I know I have somebody I can work with. But when I do a coaching session with them, and they're like, I don't know, I tried, it didn't work. It's so frustrating for me because they don't recognize that just because it didn't work, you didn't try. You tried it once, you tried it twice. You're going to have to, if you're doing a new workout program, you're going to be fucking sore for the first month.
I went to the gym this week and no change.
You're going to be sore, and then you're going to have a new problem, which is like you're not pushing hard enough and you're not getting sore at all.
And then you're going to have an injury, and then you're going to it's going to keep happening. You have to learn to pivot and be flexible. The end result is what you really want. The end result is where we're going. So with the cycle of growth, remember, you can't unknow these things once you know them. So the next time you're starting something and you're really excited, but you have no clue what you're doing, know that you are going to be able to get through this, and know that you are going to be meeting resistance, and know that you're about to hit a brick wall. But your job when you hit that brick wall is to find a way to bust through it. And then keep going. Don't quit. Keep going up. As you become more engaged in what you're doing, more skilled at what you're doing, you're going up that hill, up that hill, up that hill. And eventually, you will get to the point that you will see that you know exactly what you're doing, and you reach flow, and you know it, and you feel it, and you can do this mindlessly.
All right, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Give the cycle of growth a shot, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye. All right, thanks for listening. If you love this episode and you know someone that needs some help in either stepping up their work hard game or their play hard game, it would mean the world to me if you shared this podcast with them to help me get this movement out there. So if you like what you heard, head on over to iTunes, take 30 seconds, and leave me a 5-star review, and I will be forever grateful. So until the next episode, excuses are over. It's time to live.